Hello everyone, Gaara here and welcome to a brand new deck tech video. Today I'm going to talk about my new updated Shaman deck. If you remember, the first deck I made after GvG came out was Shaman, and I was playing it quite a bit also on stream, and I changed like quite some cards to the first version. It is still like a mech Shaman, because in my opinion you really have to use the power maze. Well, it really depends on how many people play Harrison Jones right now. But I really enjoy the tempo you get. Like in my opinion, Shaman is a tempo class. It is a control deck, but at the same time, um, it really takes off from the tempo you get once you have the board control established. And power maze is a really nice tool to get tempo. Like you will see that also in the games. Like I play one mechanical yeti, and once you have like the power maze out and then you get like the buff mechanical yeti, which is a minion that has 6-7 power, which is a bola fist ogre on turn 4, and the opponent has no way to deal with it. It is insanely strong. You can compare it to an innovate, which druids have, or if you like coin out the power mace and then you buff your harvest golem to a yeti. And I really like that mechanic, and I think this is really what Shaman needs, like at least to have like an edge in this current meta game, because it's like very aggressive. Like there's many face hunter decks, the advanced zoo deck, which like all those decks are super strong. The warrior with the shield maiden, it's so much more difficult now for Shaman to like fight the way through the meta, and especially like with priest is like also super strong, like even strong against Shaman now. So the main thing that was missing in my first version of Shaman was card draw. Like it was very hard to fit like the right amount of max, and yeah, also yeah, card draw in general. Like because you have so many cards that are core. Like you have to play like the earth shocks, you have to play rock biters, flame tongues, fire elementalists, like a lot of core cards. The first card that I decided to cut was Spirit Wolves, because it never felt strong. Like when you play against priest, Spirit Wolves feels really like, when is the right time to play it? In my opinion, it was the right time to play it only in combination with Flame Tongue Totem, so the opponent can't cabal it. It's very weak. It gives you overload, and the card doesn't really do much. Like there's so many minions that can fight it off easily, and even against hunters, it's not that good. So I decided to play other taunts, which like Arcane Nullifier and the Neutrons, because they just do much more, and they're also max, which I can buff. Like I can buff the Arcane Nullifier with the Power Mace to a 4/7, and the opponent has to deal with it with minions, which is a big difference compared to just like Spirit Wolves, which you can just kill with, yeah, just easily kill off with whatever. And a 4/7 that can't be targeted by spells is like a huge deal in most matchups. Also against warrior it can't be executed, which is also a big deal. Yeah, a Neutron buffed is like also, as the name says, very annoying. It has divine shield, and it's very awkward to to trade efficiently with this minion. Um, I play one mana type for additional card draw. I used to play the two Assure Drakes, but oftentimes it's not enough. When you get, there's many matchups where mana tide is just very a strong card draw card, um, because your opponent has to use a spell to remove it, and then you have already like advantage. If you play against a druid and you drop down a mana tide, and you have a taunt totem for example or something, then they have to use a wrath, and then you get already a card advantage, which is very important, because Shaman usually does those trades with like a small minion plus rock bite or lightning bolt and stuff like that. So you really need the card advantage in control matchups. The deck is surprisingly strong against any aggro deck, because you have many answers to like Undertaker. You have the rock. That's the reason why I went back to lightning bolt over Crackle, because of Undertakers. There's so many strong Undertaker decks and face decks, and Crackle is just awkward. Like you would use Crackle to remove an Undertaker, but you can't do it in turn 1. This is actually a big deal, and also against Mage, because you will face many aggro mages, mid-range mages, mech mages, and when they use the Mana Worm turn 1, Crackle is also awkward. You can't use it turn 1, like you have to coin it out. And you basically want to also against Priest, you kill Clerics turn 1 when they play it, or Zombie Chows. Like, you usually need the Lightning Bolt to deal with those minions, because you really have to deal with those turn 1 drops as a Shaman. I used to play Zombie Chows, but now that I don't play Zombie Chows, I need the turn 1 removal. But now that I play like the 2 Lightning Bolts and the Rock Biters, I have an easy way to deal with those. And then I have my turn 2 drops with the Annoytrons and Haunted Creepers, and then I can like go from there, play with the Flame Tongue Totems and the Power Mace, and then like get the board control and go from there. Once I have like a buffed mech with Power Mace, like I have a really strong board, I can like fight for board control very easily. As mentioned, I play double Lightning Storm just because there's so many strong board developed cards like Imp Implosion or Master for Battle, and it's very hard to like, if a Shaman is behind the board, that's like the only way with Lightning Storm. Even though it's not one of the best board clear mechanics, it's like very important, because Shaman either needs like his own board to fight for board control, or you use Lightning Storm. And if I cut Lightning Storm, it's like very difficult to come back in any game. Harvest Gone is just a very sticky mech. I play 8 mechs. In my first version I played 6 mechs, and sometimes you just have the power maces but you don't have like a mech. I decided to play one anti-heal bot because Shaman was always missing heal, and it's also a mech, so you can buff it with the power mace, so you have really nice synergy there. It's a 5/5 after it's buffed, and once you use weapon you also need heal because you will drop really low Shaman, and the game is really unforgiving right now with all the aggro decks. I tested one Mechanical Yeti, I really like it. This is a variable card. I can play like a second antique heal bot, or an Argus, because Argus is still very good in Shaman. It really depends on how many mechs you wanna play. And the Assure Drake, because of the spell power, it always has nice synergy. A lot of people actually go back to Assure Drakes, and then you can kill the enemy Assure Drake with Assure Drake coin, Lightning Bolt, or just Assure Drake Lightning Bolt. Fire Elemental is just a very strong tempo card. Neptulon, I still like it, even though it's the only BGH target, like, because the hand will be exhausted in control matchups, and then this is really like a nice comeback tool. I went over it many times why I like this card so much. It gives you 4 card draws out of space, like it doesn't draw it from your deck, so when you go to those, when you have those fatigue matches, you just have like more cards overall in your deck, which is very important, especially when you fight against priests and stuff like that. This deck is very weak against priests because you have like Annoytrons, Hound Creepers, and Harvest Golems, and even Arcanophile, so many targets that can be caballed. So priest is very, very strong against this deck. But yeah, priest was always strong against Shaman. So yeah, this is like just like a the Shaman deck I like to play. Shaman is not the strongest class right now in my opinion, but it's a lot of fun to play. Like I really like to just to play Shaman. So I will also show you some games on NA, and I hope you guys like this.